What's up, y'all? Hey, it is Tuesday. Nope, it's not even Tuesday. It's Monday. Monday, the week of Thanksgiving in the US. If you celebrate, and I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm just popping on because I want to talk about some apps. I've gotten a lot of questions about Black Friday deals, AppSumo deals, other lifetime, and some that are not lifetime deals. But I wanted to kind of just jump on and answer a few questions and walk through the ones that I know are solid buys. Now, I also need to do another video, which I probably will have to do later in the week because I have cooking to do. I have cooking to do. So, look, let me ask you this. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving this week and you've got food on your menu that you have to put together, type a couple of those things, those ideas for recipes in the chat. I have to do collard greens. That's what I was asked to do. I'm going to use turkey neck bones instead of ham hocks. For those of you who are from the South, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I also use a little bit of red wine vinegar, and what else do I use? Garlic, like minced garlic, and a few other things that we'll put in there. I can't give away all my secrets, but that's one of the dishes, right? I see a couple of different questions in here already, so let me pop this in here. So thank you. Chris B says Tuesday for you. Okay, so it's Tuesday for you, so happy Tuesday. See, I wasn't completely off. It's still Monday where I am, but it's Monday night. Ty, let me see what Ty's question. Hey, Ty. Actually, I do. I still use Go Brunch. I do think that it is absolutely a good buy. So if it's something that you're thinking of doing on AppSumo, that will be one that I'll cover. And if you've got questions on it, let me know because I can pull it up. I've used it for a long time, and they've been adding features. They kind of sneak features in. Richard does that sometimes. And I'll go out there and be like, oh, I didn't know this was there. So, yes, happy to definitely add that to the list of what we'll talk about. And Ty, I love it. Cabbage and carrots. And yes, you use turkey thighs. Those are the best. I had not even thought of turkey thighs. I've got like the leg and then the neck. Okay. Okay. I was trying not to do pork because I have a brother in law and some family members that do not do pork. So I had to, substitute. I still do a little bit of the Southern style, but then I have some of the red wine vinegar and the garlic and the onions to keep it, healthy, to keep it 100. Okay, I'm double checking something on Substack because it looks like I think I got my people over there, but it's also buffering for some reason. So let me see if buffering, but let me send people over there. Head to YouTube at yeah, because it looks like it's having problems, and it's actually giving me a couple of problems on Substack. For those of you who are in that space or have seen me over there, it's cut me off a couple of times, and I'm not exactly sure I know why. So I'll give them an alternative just in case. Okay, so let's get into it. I want to talk a little bit about apps, and I have sent out an invite, a bat signal to some of my friends who might also show up in the feed if they have some ideas or questions, even in regards to digital apps. But we're just playing. Like, I don't have a real structured agenda today. Although I will tell you that this morning I released a premiere video on YouTube about one of the apps that I should mention. It's called Easy Site, because that has been another one that has been like top of mind and top of my list for buys this year. Okay, let me pull up this site. I'm going to pull up AppSumo right now. And if we need to, then I will also make sure that I add QR codes and, we'll do all the things. So if you need specific links, if there's something you're really interested in, I just want you to pop it into the chat as we're talking. If there's a question that you have about a specific tool that you don't see me talking about, but you're looking into it, we can look at it together. Because again, we're just hanging out and playing, so we can do what we want. You're part of the family and the communication. And so we're just having conversation and discussion about apps. Okay, you don't see buffer. Okay, I think some people might be seeing it because I definitely see it on Substack. But I'm going to go ahead and keep going with our YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn chat. And here's what I will do right now. I'm going to pull up, we'll start with AppSumo, but there's some other deals that I am aware of that are not on AppSumo that I definitely want to pull up for you. So we'll do that too. Okay. And if this if this is too tiny, let me know. And what I'll do is I'll make myself smaller. Yeah, let's do that so we can make the screen a little bit bigger there. Okay. So first, I'm going to start with this because it's just easier. And most of you, if you followed me for any number of years, you know that I usually try to do a review of some of the different AppSumo deals that are going on around these times. So the holidays. Actually, I've done a lot fewer reviews this year and late last year simply because there have been some incidents with a few of the founders and startups over there that have not gone well. So I am very hesitant. And I will say this, I'm going to give you the disclaimer that it's always going to be important for you to make sure that you do your own review. It's also going to be important for you to make sure that you do due diligence to keep up with the 30-day refund period or whatever the refund period may be for these apps. You don't need to hold on to something that you're not using or something that you feel is not going to work for your business. So the tips that I can give you right off the bat are when you purchase any type of online apps and software right now, especially, you've got to be careful that you are doing yourself a favor by managing your budget, not overspending, finding apps that are practical and that are going to fit into your current suite and system of doing things, or that will help you to elevate your game, right? If you don't want to stay where you are and you're trying to elevate to the next level, and this tool seems like it's going to be the bridge for you, then okay. But simply because it's a shiny object should not be the reason for the purchase. See these tools as an investment. That's another tip I'll give you, as an investment. And sometimes when you invest in lifetime deals, especially these one-time pay and you have it forever apps, it may not be the lifetime of you. It could be the lifetime of the business or the app itself. But if you can get your money's worth, if you can get the return on what you've put in. So for instance, I usually try to gauge at least, can I get like 6 months to a year out of an app? Then I'm probably in good shape. But I really want it to be longer. And I have seen a lot of these tools last way longer, especially the ones that I bought a long time ago. Restream, that I'm using right now, was a lifetime deal app for me. How crazy is that? So I want you to know that it's probably a little different nowadays, especially given the fact that we have AI and that you now can create micro apps and tools. You can create your own platforms and software versus just using or investing in someone else's simply by knowing how to prompt, right? Or do vibe coding. And so that was what my video was about earlier today, is this tool, Easy Site, that allowed me to create 2 beautiful micro apps that my customers and clients can use. Okay, let's get into it. An absolute wonder. I see you over here. Yay. Okay, I'm going to move myself out of the way again. Let's go ahead and pull some of this stuff up. So what I'll do first, and again, if you've got specific questions, let me know. But I'm going to show you how I look at some of these apps when I'm looking for deals. And then I'm also going to show you the ones that are on the top of their list that I personally have used, and I'll give you my thoughts about them. Is that fair? We can do that because I don't like to talk about things that I don't really know. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm going to be fully transparent with you when I know that there's something that works or that doesn't. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. So I know, for instance, when we look at this list that's right at the top, because usually these are going to be the ones that they're really highlighting and emphasizing, I can tell you right out of the gate a few of them that I know. Let's go to this list instead of the scroll. Okay, so this is their Shop Black Friday deal. And so you get 10% off of every deal in this collection. And if you're a Plus member, which I used to be and I no longer am, if you're a Plus member, though, you get 19% off. And this is going to end, it looks like, December 2nd at noon Central. So you want to keep that date in mind, okay? And also look for yourself just in case there's countdown timers that go off sooner. Because what I'm also noticing is that some of these apps and tools actually have a price increase coming up in the next couple of days. And so you'll want to pay attention to that too. Okay. So right off the bat, the very first row that's going on here, I just recently purchased this one. The jury's still out on PushLap growth. Part of the reason for it is this is an affiliate program. And I'll tell you the reason why I was looking into it is because I purchased Skill Plate, which I'll talk about because that's on lifetime deal. And I wanted to be able to ensure that I continue to have an active affiliate program. And so this gives you the ability, allegedly, gives you the ability to be able to host an affiliate program that is not related to a shopping cart specifically, right? So it works and it operates based on cookies and script and all of that. That's nice, but the thing that I'm struggling with right now is that it doesn't integrate natively with SkillPlate. It does integrate with Zapier, so I may have to use that. If I can figure out a workaround, I'll keep it. But it also does have a solid integration with Stripe, but it needs to be Stripe payment links, Stripe tables. There's even a Stripe API, but that's specifically if you're using the links from Stripe, that it'll read those so that when someone is if you refer, let's say for instance, Dr. Stacy, who's in here, if she is, and I see your note, let me see this. You need to stop heckling, Hicks. I know you promised you would. Yeah, I am on AppSumo. But the thing about this one is if you are, and I see your question too, an absolute wonder. I'm going to pop that up in a second. If you're using a site like this or a program like this, and you're using a site like SkillPlate, which is still little known and still fairly new, the integration gets a little tricky because SkillPlate is still in the process of adding webhooks and that type of thing. So communication between that app and other apps is not necessarily going to be already set up. So there's some workarounds I'm probably going to have to do if I want to make this work. Now, the answer to your question about ThriveCart is yes, if I were continuing to use ThriveCart instead of using the native shopping cart that's inside of SkillPlate, it would be easy because I just continue to use ThriveCart, and I might end up having to continue to do that. But I literally wanted to use SkillPlate and all its features. I keep saying SkillPlate, so I'm going to have to pull that up in just a second. But that is one of the reasons why I was looking at this particular app is an option for a portal for affiliates that might land on any page of my site. But the jury's still out for now, so we'll see if that works out. I ended up, just for anyone else who might be looking at this, I ended up with, I think I got tier 3. I got tier 3 because it has unlimited commission plans, and it also allows you a custom domain, and there's some other extra things that you'll want to take a look at. But you also want to take a look at what are the integrations. So you'll probably want to ask that question if you're considering this. You want to know that your cart, whatever you're using, is going to integrate natively with this program, with this platform. And right now, I'm not seeing it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Okay. I will go to skill plate shortly, but before I do, I'm going to go ahead and pop in Gumlet. Okay. So Gumlet is another one. And I will tell you, I'm going to tell you a quick story about this one. Okay. Because what's funny about this is I had Gumlet previously and I was lamenting over the fact that I had turned it in and refunded it. The only reason why I refunded it, and I'll tell you what it is in just a second. The only reason why I refunded it is because I ended up, I see that Ty, no problems for over 5 years. So are you using, tell me if you're using Gumlet. Is this what you're using, Ty? Let me know. I like this program. It is a video hosting platform. So it can help you to, if you're, let's say, for instance, you're using kind of like a course platform, such as Heartbeat Chat, like we do, or something else, right? And so you only want the people that are members of your community to be able to access those videos. You don't want to use YouTube links. Because if you use YouTube links, a couple of things can happen. One, you're going to have all that YouTube branding all over the video. And two, it makes it easier for people to pirate or copy and take your video and use it for their own purposes. But hey, it was supposed to be just part of the community. It was only supposed to be available to people who paid. Yeah, but you don't have any protections if you haven't purchased a video host like this. So the best thing I can tell you, as far as I'll tell you, the comparison would be if you have Vimeo. A lot of you are familiar with Vimeo or maybe Wistia. So Gumlet, I would say, would compare to those two platforms. And what I like about it, first of all, besides the fact that it's a lifetime deal, is that it does give you a lot of options in terms of the hosting. You can even do live streaming directly from Gumlet. Like, they have an option for doing that. So if you're looking at Gumlet, that would be the reason why I turned it in, is because I had Adillo, and some of you may be familiar with Adillo, which has been good to me for several years. But there's also been some conflicts going on here lately. I've been hearing contradictory information from some folks about whether or not they're going to stay around. And I've also had some issues myself personally, or else I wouldn't say this. I've had some issues with the founder on a different app that they sold. Um, Additionally, I've had some issues with uploading videos, and they just continued to buffer and buffer and buffer and never did host. Like, I could never display it on other sites. So I was lamenting the fact that I had turned in Gumlet, because I'm like, dang, I had a lifetime deal with Gumlet. Why did I let them go? Because it was a duplicate of Adillo, because I was trying to be a responsible buyer, right? But since they came back for Black Friday, I did come back in here and I decided I was going to go ahead and purchase. Let me pop it up bigger. Yes, absolutely. So Radiance by Ratilia, that's the reason why she purchased it, is for the privacy. And the question that I got here was, which tier did you pick for Gumlet? So I think I chose the tier 3. I may have even chosen tier 2. Because I do have other options right now. I chose tier 2 with 1 terabyte of streaming bandwidth per month. Um, Let me see what else is on here. It has a lead capture form, so you can actually capture leads as people are watching your videos from the Gumlet app, right? I did not get the one with unlimited digital rights management. I think you have to go to tier 5 in order to see that in effect. Yeah. Actually, you don't even see it there. You see it at yeah, it's tier 5 right there. Unlimited digital rights management. So that even further protects your videos, right, from someone duplicating or getting access to them. I was good with tier 2. I think that was sufficient for me. You have unlimited total videos, customizable player. The player itself, what's cool about that is when you are hosting your video on Gumlet, but you put it over into your other space, what you can do is to ensure that your space has your branded colors. Let me give you an example. And I don't have this set up yet in Gumlet, but I'm going to show you, like, inside of my Stream Bosses Academy, what this might look like. So I'm going to go into our library and I'm going to go, let's see, I probably have something. Let's look in the live stream launch pad. And I'm going to give you a look at, this video right here. Okay. So this is an example of what I mean when I say, instead of you using the standard YouTube link, which you could use in some of these course platforms, what you want is to be able to remove all their stuff, all their overlays, and brand your videos according to your own space. And so Gumlet does give you that option. So when we talk about a customizable player, that's another reason why having a hosting platform like this is really cool. Okay, because you can do all kinds of things with it. So, I decided to use this not so much for the live streaming capability, because I still love the tools that I have for that. But this is neat. If you are going to use the live streaming capability in Gumlet, the way that I see you using that might be if, let's say, for instance, you want to embed your live stream on your own website. So you have it on your own page, on your domain, on your website, and you're doing a special webinar or an exclusive event only for your members, right? So then I would probably do a live stream. You can host it like that and even create a registration page for it and make it an all-out webinar without having to purchase webinar software. So that could be one way that I guess you could use the live stream functionality. Again, because when I live stream publicly to all my sites, as you see. I don't know necessarily that I need that. So, but the option's there. The other thing that's cool about this one is that it has Zapier integration, which we kind of talked a little bit about that. The fact that Zapier is really key to you having the ability to be able to connect and integrate with other sites, right? So if you have something doing, taking an action on one site, then it leads to another site, then it leads to an email, then it leads to another action. You want the ability to be able to integrate with platforms like Zapier, like N89, N-A-N, dang it, and make.com and some of those other ones, right? You want the ability to have that integration capability. For most of these apps, you're going to be looking for that. At least I do, because I need my apps to talk to each other when I want them to talk to each other as a part of a system and not a standalone. Okay, I see a couple of things. Yeah, you didn't realize you could live stream on Gumlet. I know, right? Check it out. Check it out. I haven't tested it. I'll have to test it. I'll test it live. We'll see how that works. Gumlet. So here's a question. So are you going to use this to house instead of native on SkillPlate? It looks like I need to talk about SkillPlate next so that you can see what I'm talking about. And thank you for the kudos as well. I saw somebody say nice video this morning. Who was that? Dr. Vibe Show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you as well for all the wishes, the well wishes for Thanksgiving and all of that stuff too. So I love it. You are a boss as well, Dr. Vibe. Thank you. Okay. Skill plate. Let's talk about it. So the question was, am I going to use this to house my videos instead of using it native on SkillPlate? For certain things, yes. I'm going to show you something. So SkillPlate, let's go over to SkillPlate. I'm going to show you the front end of my SkillPlate. It looks like every time I transition, there's like a little bit of a freeze. So I don't know if that's also adding to the issue that's going on over on Substack. So my apologies. I don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's switch. Okay, hopefully you can hear and see me well. I'm going to do something really fast. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that right now. Okay, so this is what I've built on SkillPlate. It's an entire website, y'all. I built this site. It was super easy to do. The number one reason why I was looking for something like this is because I wanted the capability of being able to sell my coaching programs and products, my services, my digital GPTs, and the micro apps that I'm putting together. So all of that I've been able to create an entire site that sells this stuff in one place, right? And let me go into my products. So, two questions have come up since we've been talking today about skill plate and how I'm going to use it. Now, one thing is you can use their built in product shopping cart. And honestly, I kind of was looking to simplify everything I'm doing because I want to put more time into services and consulting and working with my clients and less time on the back end. When I was working with Go High Level and some of the other more complex platforms, I found myself constantly in the back end building, changing up things every time they made something new. And I honestly, y'all, was just tired and I just wanted something simple. And so I wanted to use a platform like this and just point it back and forth between my blog, which is hosted on another site, and these services, right? And so I want to do everything in here if at all possible. And I suspect that I will be able to do that for the most part. But there are a few things that I can't do. So, for purposes of the affiliate program, if I'm going to use their native Stripe, because that's all that they connect to these days. Right now, although I'm hearing that they may have other payment options in the future, I'm good with Stripe because I was using Stripe anyway. So I'm going to be using Stripe at this time. And if I am fully using the functionality that is in SkillPlate, that means when people click on the Buy Now button, they're going to go directly to the skill plate shopping cart and I don't have to mess with, hey, let me create a Thrivecart, page and all of that. Now I can do that, Stacy, because I have Thrivecart Lifetime. And for those of you who don't know what Thrivecart is, it's a shopping cart that's been around for a long time, but it can do a whole lot of other things as well. I have primarily in the past used it for landing pages, but it also has an affiliate program built in. It's just not as pretty and it's a little clunky. And it does take additional time. So, with me trying to simplify things, I really had planned on just using this. That's the reason why I was looking for an affiliate program option and why, when we went back over here on AppSumo and looked at that deal, I thought, oh, well, this popped up. Maybe I'll use this, that PushLap growth. So the other question is about video hosting, right? Because if you look at Gumlet, again, you're able to host the videos on the Gumlet space, and then you can move those videos over into your skill plate courses. So let me go into a course and I'm going to show you a couple of things or reasons why I think I'm going to do a mix of both. If I were to, I got to think about how I can get you over here to one of the courses. Let me open up one. I'll open it over here so I'm not giving you seasickness. Let me go into courses and then I'll pull it over. Let's see. Let's do we have one that's available? Let's see, AI Short Video Lab. Okay, I'm going to pull this one up for you so you can kind of see what it might look like, okay? So here's what you can do when you go in and you're messing with your different, lessons and modules and all of that stuff. When you're ready to actually make edits and to add files to this space, you have a couple of options. So here's a lesson. You can select your video file and add it here. That means it's hosted on SkillPlate. And the benefit and advantage to hosting it on SkillPlate directly is that it keeps a tracker. So it can tell you how long someone has watched it. And so it gives you that advantage of it being built into the system, a part of the course. So you can see where people are stopping and starting, how many people are finishing the course or finishing a certain lesson and that type of thing, because that's built in integration directly in SkillPlate. If you don't do that, your other option would be, sure, you could go ahead and just host it on Gumlet, or you can host it. You can even use a YouTube video, whatever you want to use. And you can simply use the media URL right here, or you can paste in the embed code, and it still looks nice, but it's not going to give you the same tracking mechanisms in-house. Now, what you could do if you're going to do that is you could go to Gumlet and you could see, okay, how far are people going with this video? Are they only watching like 5% of it and they're missing out on the stuff? Am I making them too long? Am I making them too short? It gives you informed decision-making skills, but it's not going to be native to these specific courses, and you don't have the analytics show up within the skill plate system. So here's how I'm planning on doing that. I am going to probably do a mix. So I'm thinking I will have a few. I'll actually, with the courses where I want to track it specifically inside a skill plate, I will do that. And for those that don't necessarily, I don't really care about the tracking. I just want to make sure that people have access. Then I'll save on my credits, right? And my spacing in skill plate only for those that are really critical and crucial to me tracking within the skill plate system. Otherwise, I'll host them on Gumlet and call it a day. And Gumlet also gives you this thing. So think about this if you're making those decisions about your video hosting. You also want to think, am I the person who is super loyal and I only stay with one app for a long time or one platform forever? Because the benefit to you using a hosting platform that is separate and offsite from your LMS or learning management system is that it's portable now. So if it's in Gumlet, no matter where I go, if I decide I want to move back to Go High Level, if I want to go over to Heartbeat, if I want to move the video to another place, I don't have to worry about downloading it from that learning management system. I can literally just go get the link from Gumlet and share it wherever the heck I want to. So that's the beauty, I think, of hosting on a video hosting platform like a Vimeo, a Wistia, Gumlet, a Dillo, right? Versus you having to port or transport your videos from place to place. I can just go pull a link. Does that make sense? So you'll have to think about what makes the best use case for what you're doing with the videos and decide that way. I hope I answered your question. Okay. And yeah, they do have a restriction on level. So depending on the level that you purchase, that will help you to also determine whether or not you're going to use skill plate for everything. But I personally found that it's been really super simple, and I haven't done anything with this yet because I'm just about to launch. But I have found it to be really super simple to build and to connect everything. And the support has been just awesome and very attentive whenever I've sent through, which I can be pretty demanding. But whenever I've sent through little videos and said, hey, I would love to have this thing, they're like, okay, let's look at it and see if we can implement it. And they have been just very responsive. So I really enjoyed building on Skill Play. And that, by the way, is yet another app that is on AppSumo. And I believe that it is still on lifetime deal sale. Let's find it in here. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. So that might be another one, a third one that I'll suggest that you look into if you're looking like I was for a course or product platform. So for e-commerce people, for people who are looking to if you just want to simplify your sales, I can see this one staying with me for a long time. I'm even using it for my coaching pages. Look, I've built out, if you go to Coffee with Tanya, so watch this. I've simply embedded my calendar inside of a skill plate landing page. And it just makes it super simple. It's still beautiful and simple. And, people are able to do all the things that they would on any other site. I'm just using embeds to pull over my calendaring system. So I do like this particular platform for that purpose, the simplicity of building and the ease and the fact that I could easily brand it according to my own taste. So that's Skill Plate. If you want to know what level I bought, I'll tell you what I did pick up. And I probably should have popped this up. I may have a QR code for this one. Let me see. I do. Here, I'll pop that up. So the QR code for this one is right there at the upper right. Maybe it's your upper left. Upper left, right there. That's the QR code that will take you directly to this particular app because I just did a video about them the other day and I had the founder on for those of you who are wanting to sit for 2 hours and get some not only some advice about skill play, but also about marketing in general. That was pretty amazing. He was giving out all kinds of nuggets. So I really, really enjoyed him. And I love that I get to do this. Okay. So the plan that I bought, I picked up tier 3. Initially, I had tier 2, and then I upgraded to tier 3 because I wanted the number of contacts to be scalable, and I also wanted additional hours of video storage. But I'm also going to tell you a really quick thing that you do not want to miss if you are investing in this tool. And please feel free to ask any questions if you have them on any of this stuff. But if you're investing in this tool, you want to take a look at the add-on. Okay. I did go ahead and pick up the add-on. Why? Because this particular platform has a commission fee, meaning if you do sell using their native shopping cart, you're going to be paying them a commission, which still is going to be less than, for instance, if you're using Gumroad or something like that, the commission fee is probably less than what you're paying there for any sales that you make using the site. So if you got tier 1, it's probably about what Gumroad takes. But anything other than that, tier 2, tier 3, the commission goes down. I didn't want to have to pay a commission fee. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this because it's going away after Black Friday and they shut this down. They're not going to offer this add-on anymore. And he was very clear about that. The add-on is 0% commission fee for life, meaning that you can pay $3.99 one time on any of these plans, and then you take 100% of your fees. So whatever you're charging, you get that full money back. And that's what I wanted. Because literally one of my products can be over $3.99, right? So I love that that's an option, and I just wanted to mention, yeah, it was. It was pretty fun, wasn't it? Ratelia was there. Radiant Spy Ratelia was there on the video that we did the other day. So don't just check that out if you are interested in learning more about skill play. We did a whole 2 hours, which was crazy. I think that's the longest I've ever done a digital app video. Okay, let me see what else is in here. So it looks like they're rotating stuff around. Let me just do the Black Friday ones. There we go. So we talked a little bit about PushLap. 2 days, that price increases. The Gumlet deal is ending in 8 days. So again, I'm telling you all, make sure you look at the countdown timers for this stuff. I've heard people talk about RoboMotion, but I know nothing about it. So I'm going to skip over the ones I don't know. Eureka, I do know, and Eureka actually has been very, it's a really cool tool, but it has a bit of a learning curve to it. What it does is it helps you to um, generate ideas and to validate those ideas for creating a course or a book because it uses these intelligence features and AI, of course, in order to help you. If you put in a few keywords and you say, hey, I think I want to write a book about bicycling on the beach, right? It's going to go and do research for you and find out, are people actually looking for that information? Are there already books out there? Which books are the best sellers? Like, it's going to give you a lot of research data. And then it will give you the likelihood of whether or not you should or shouldn't write that book. And it's also going to give you additional features for you to be able to actually begin writing the outline. And AI helps you through the process. So Eureka is a pretty cool tool. I will be honest and tell you that I bought this probably about a year and a half ago, and I still have yet to write my book. Don't trip. That's on me, though. That's on me. It's not on them. But there are lots of features to it. So if this is something you're interested in taking a look at, I would definitely go in here and pay attention to the lesson architect and to the course research feature. Right now, it looks like that their sale is probably more than what I paid for it a year and a half ago, but I can see it being worth it if you're someone who is looking into, creating a lot of ebooks, or maybe you're trying to create courses and you love the research aspect of it. I know, Hicks. Yeah, so in my networking group in the Dames, I actually have a writing coach and accountability partner that's getting ready to work with me to beat me down and make me get this done. I have the book right here. I know what I'm writing. I just haven't made the time to put it on paper. So I'm working on it, I promise. Okay. So yeah, Eureka, I would suggest checking it out if you have that use case. So creating a course or a bunch of courses, and you want it research backed and you want to validate it before you put the effort in, that's a really nice tool for that. Let's see what else. Subscriber. There's two on this row that I want to definitely talk to you about. Ooh, okay. Subscriber, I think I talked about this one the other day. And at first I was like, oh my God, this is yet another TubeBuddy / vidIQ tool. No, it's way better than that. What it does, subscriber helps you to create these scripts with hooks and storytelling techniques. It gives you engagement. Like you can feed it. In fact, I'll show you I showed some of you this the other day. I'm going to show you the back end of my dashboard. Okay. Because I have started using this thing regularly. Like it's been so awesome. It connects to your YouTube channel, just like the other ones do, right? But it's specifically designed to help you to create scripts. Like that's the superpower of this thing, is it will help you to write out scripts. So when you go in here and you say, hey, I want to create a script, you could either use their current bot, which I love, or you can use the classic builder, which is a little bit simpler. But when you go into ScriptBot, it's going to give you a space where you can chat with it and you're going back and forth and saying, hey, I want these things in it. I also want to talk about these 3 points. So before I do my live streams on Thursdays, which are a lot more structured than what we're doing right now, because we're just playing right now. But when I do my lives on Thursdays, this is what I come to now. I come in here and I say, okay, take a look at my channel. And I also want you to look at these other people's channels. And I want you to tell me what's missing, like what's a gap that I can fill? What are some topics that I can talk about that would be really make a good connection with my audience? And then I sit down and I start planning out that video using this. It is super cool. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I will show you. It has a prompt library. So if you don't necessarily know how to prompt well, you can use the prompts that they have, and they are really powerful for creating highly relevant content for your channel. So I love this one. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video on NotebookLM, because I've had a lot of people asking me questions about how to use it for video content creation. So I've begun asking this to help me script out what that video is going to look like. So we've already started writing. It's coming. Look for that probably within the next week. Okay. Let's see. Subscriber. And if you want to know which tier I bought on this one, let's see. You can brainstorm ideas, capture your authentic brand voice. Yeah, you can even feed it your own, like your profile, your brand profile, so that it speaks in your voice with the script writing. It's amazing. I love it. But since I just had my own micro app that will help you with transcripts, I need to talk about that, but I won't talk about that yet. I'm thinking about building out one that is similar to Subscriber, but right now I love Subscriber. So I'm not going to tell you to wait on me. I'm going to say, if you want this, get it before it's gone. I have tier 3 on this one. The reason I have tier 3 is because I wanted the capability of detailed script outlines. I wanted multiple formats. So I wanted both short and long. I wanted the research capabilities. I wanted all of this stuff that's in red on tier 1, right? And I also trying to think of what else I wanted. I think specifically the difference between tier 2 and tier 3 is this, the intel for channels and videos. So it has a searchable database of 60,000 channels and 10 million videos. So it literally can look at these other videos and trends and analyze them against what you're asking for it to do. That's the reason why I ended up going to tier 3. But otherwise, I think you probably would do okay with tier 2. So this one I really like a lot. It does give you script writing credits, but so far, even with what I'm doing, because I do a minimum of 4 videos a month, I have not run out yet. I can't imagine. I think you'll probably still be okay. Even when I had tier 2 before I upgraded, I was doing fine with that. Oh, here's one other difference between tier 2 and 3. This one only gives you 1 channel for tier 2. Tier 3 gives you 2. So if you have 2 YouTube channels that you want to connect to this thing, then you might want to get tier 3. Okay. All right. So that's subscriber. If there are any questions, feel free to pop those into the chat. Don't forget that these, you can take an extra 10% off. Okay. So if you are considering doing anything with AppSumo for Black Friday, it's automatically going to apply the 10% off discount code, which is yay. Love that. I love me a discount. Okay, let's go back to software. There's one other one on that same row I wanted to make sure you see. So let's turn that filter back on. And this one I have used for, it's been a while now. Where is it? Traft? There it is. Okay. Traft. This is a sleeper app. And by that, I mean, you can end up overlooking this because you're like, I don't know. Do I need that? I don't need another booking calendar. Now, if you have Go High Level and you're doing all the things in Go High Level, including effectively using the calendar system, because you should, if you're using it, use everything. I was not using everything because I had stuff in other places. But if you're using it, invest in using everything. If you're not, and you're using something like, I don't know, what's a favorite? Oh, Calendly. A lot of people use Calendly, and I am not hating on them. I love Calendly. Um, a lot of people are using that, and they're using Book Like a Boss, which is an old standby of mine. I have that lifetime deal still, and they have honored, for years, they've honored their lifetime deal members by including certain features every time they upgrade. And so it's still a pretty cool tool, but Traft has been excellent for a number of reasons for me. Now, some people have said they've had issues. So I encourage you, if you're thinking of purchasing this one, you want to make sure you're paying attention to the ratings, one, which right now they have 5 tacos, but you also want to review some of the reviews. Let me share with you how I do this. When I'm looking at these, I don't just look at the tacos, by the way. I also go and read reviews, and I'll show you really quickly a trick that I want you to make sure you leverage whenever you're looking at this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes this stuff is like, oh, it looks really positive. But if you go in the back end, if you click on reviews and you start seeing the latest reviews and you see a trend of low reviews for the later ones, the most recent ones, that's a warning sign. Okay. The other thing I look for is right here on taco ratings. I will head straight to the 1 and the 2, and I will read the comments and find out how recent they are. Look, this one right here, it's pretty recent, November 19th. That was just a few days ago. And this one says they're writing negative feedback, sad but true. They offer almost no support. I would not agree with that. I can tell you right now from personal experience, because I literally have had this app for, it's been a few years now. I've used Traft successfully for a few years. And every time I've had an issue, yeah, it might take more than 24 hours, But usually within 48 hours, I've gotten a response. But I'm just showing you the process that I go through when I'm looking at these is I'm reading through the lower reviews, and then I'm going to definitely check out the 3 taco ones because they're usually going to be a little bit more balanced. They're going to give you the good and the bad. And I will surf through and find out like what's the issue. And if it's something I think I can live with, then I'll continue to make a decision based on other factors, right? But if it looks like something that's a no bueno, if it's non-negotiable for me, then I won't buy it. But that's pretty much how I look at these. I'm going to tell you what I think is actually nice about this particular app because again, I can speak from experience because I have used it for so long. What I love about it is that it does give you the capability of being able to fully customize the emails that go out to people. So I can brand them in my own voice. I can use terms like, hey, y'all, or woohoo, it's so great that you and I are getting connected. Don't you love these calendar apps? Like I can put whatever I want and customize the emails so that people feel like they're really having a cool experience with me before they ever meet me in person on the Zoom call or the Google Meet call. The other thing I like about it is that it does properly and effectively sync to the right calendars in my Google Calendar system. And it's beautiful. Here, I'll show you. Let me see if I have it. I think it should be this. Yeah, here we go. This is my Traft page. This is my meeting page, right? So again, you know me in my pink. It's fully branded, of course, right? But all of the different ways that people can actually create a calendar or an appointment with me are right here. There's some that are hidden, but I can categorize them and it makes it super easy so that when people are able to, when people come in here, let me just act like I'm going to book right now, right? And this is the one that I'm embedding into my skill plate system, by the way. My skill plate pages, I've embedded the code from Traft, but it includes the form so I can ask whatever questions I think are pertinent to the particular service. This is my discovery call, right? And it allows them to book. And then it can send them, it can make it pending if I'm not really wanting to approve automatically, because I don't approve my discovery calls automatically. I read through the application first, or you can set it up to where it automatically approves every request. But there's a lot that you can do with this system, and I have found it to be pretty handy. I mean, I've used it for a long time. If I've ever had problems, which I did have a problem about 3 weeks ago, they kept they kept going in and making sure they were checking to see that it was working. They came up with a resolution, they came back to me and got back to me in a reasonable time. So whatever experience, sure, but that's not the experience I've had. I also love that they have this mobile app. And I actually have an iPhone. So this says mobile Android app, but it's a mobile for iPhone as well. I think the Android recently popped up, or maybe I've got that switched up, but they do have one for iPhone too. And so the app ensures that you're able to take your meetings with you. Like you can see everything in the dashboard, you can see all the analytics, you can see if you need to cancel something for an emergency, like everything is inside the app. So this has been cool for me and I have enjoyed using it. Let me see, Radiance. Completely set up your Traft, and then you couldn't check out your clients in person. You had to send them an invoice, but I use their sister app, Amelia, very similar. Huh. Okay. Okay. So I don't have a salon. I think you have an in-person salon, and I haven't tested it out with that. So that could be a bummer. I have all of my appointments online. All of them are virtual. And so I've had a lot of success with creating different services that are virtual services, including my podcast guest interview and all of that. That's all in here. And it's been a solid replacement for what I used to use. I used to use Acuity scheduling. So it may be worth a look. I think, yeah, their timer is within the next 37 hours, the price is going to increase. I can't tell you right now which tier I have because I bought mine so long ago that I don't think the tiers are even the same anymore. But I can tell you, I don't think I have an agency account. I didn't need that. I just wanted it for my business. So I think I probably have what's equivalent to a tier 2. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm not going to stay on all night and bore you to tears. So if you have a specific app you want me to take a look at that's out here on AppSumo, let me know. And once we're done with AppSumo, I have maybe a couple others that I definitely want to mention to you to take a look at for Black Friday. And I will do a separate video later on for Amazon to talk about gear in case you're looking for digital, not digital, but online gear. And I probably have to invite some friends for that one too. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to see if there's one or two other ones that I think are really super important for you on here. Hey Summit is there. It looks like they're back. I'm I'm gonna keep my I have the lifetime. I have a lifetime from years ago for Hey Summit. I'm a little concerned that they're back again. And I think this is maybe the third, possibly even fourth time within a short amount of time that I've seen them back. That bothers me because by now I feel like they should be pretty established. So maybe they just need a cash influx of some kind. And I can't speak to it. I haven't used it in a very long time. But Hey Summit is a space for you to host virtual events like large summits, right? I think a friend of mine might have used it recently. And I know that there's the queen of all summits, all virtual summits, who I don't see in the chat right now, but she could probably talk a little bit more about it. That's Erica Bates. So I'm going to hold my tongue on that one because I just don't know. I just don't know. Radiance by Retalia, you purchased it, returned it, and purchased it again. Yeah, like I did with Gumlet, right? Sometimes we do that. Consulto, I have not looked into Consulto. Let's look at it together and let's see what we see. Because I don't know if there's a specific use case that I thought I would need for this one, but let's see what it's about. So, streamline your customer handling flows, answer questions, schedule meetings, and launch calls with this customer platform. So, Stacy, if you have used it and you have thoughts, feel free to pop those into the chat, or if you want to pop in, you know you have the back door. Because I don't know this one. I've heard some people talking about it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. So it says combine AI chatbots, live chat, video calls, and appointment scheduling on one platform. So I guess then if you're using something like this, maybe you wouldn't need a Traft, for instance, because it seems like it would do all those things. I am curious about it. It's not one that I'm going to invest in at this point because I have enough of those type of tools. But I can see how this would be useful if you're doing a lot of consulting and you don't have effective tools that could handle that workflow for you. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff that's missing unless you do tier 3, because I'm not even sure why they would use this unless there's some AI element, I'm assuming, to it. Let me pop this up. One-on-one meetings, I see, scheduling with landing pages. Okay. And so if you're loving Consulto, definitely give us a rating. Like put your stars in the chat. I'm curious. Video chat direct without having to use Zoom or Meet. Okay, nice. Nice. I kind of like that idea. So yeah, if you pay for this, it looks like they have a white labeling app at tier 3. You can do money transfer. So I guess you can charge people for your consulting using this. I have not used it personally, so I can't really speak to it. It's a startup pre-seed. I probably would look more at the actual app itself and find out more details about it. But it looks like if Stacy is saying that it's good, she's saying she did tier 3. Okay, that's what it looked like. Tier 3 is probably where all the magic is. 4.25 stars. Okay. All right. And this is one. So there's a lot of meeting apps. Has anybody noticed the theme going on there? There's a lot of meeting apps in here. And what I do want to be careful purchased a meeting app. I know I shouldn't say the name. Y'all are going to have PTSD if I say this name out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sessions. Oh my God. Sessions. It was like my favorite app. And for those of you who know the history of it, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it's no longer available. I love that thing. And I was setting up all my meetings with it. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is just to say, with meeting apps, I made a pledge after that nightmare that I was simply going to stick with Zoom or Google Meet so that I knew that I had the consistency and it was not going to go anywhere. So right now I'm using Google Meet, and then Zoom is my backup if I ever need one. However, I do think it's worth it to look into these apps and see if any of them would be worthwhile for you. So I see a vote for Meetin, and I see a vote for Consulto that's on here. Okay, great question. So AG, what's up? How you doing, sir? What do you recommend or use for customer relationship management? So my favorite of all time, I'm going to say this and then you're going to be like, but Tanya, you just said you don't use it. My favorite still is Go High Level for that. If I were effectively using all the parts of Go High Level to make it run the way that it should, and it can, it's perfect. I mean, the customer relationship management system that's built into that is amazing. Because I'm not using that, what I am effectively doing right now is I am making use of a tool that's integrated with my Notion. So I have a dashboard that I keep track of, but I have had to rig it. And I am in the process of deciding on another CRM. Since I'm going all in on SkillPlate and have built out my products and services and all of that stuff there, it's more likely than not that I'm going to have to invest in something separate. Airtable is another option. For those of you who love Airtable and integrations with Airtable, you can use Airtable as a full out CRM that can connect with anything and everything and give you lots of great analysis and data. And I do love Airtable for that purpose as well. But it's not intended, like it's not built with CRM as the intent. It's built with a whole bunch of other things in mind that you can do, but you can use it for that purpose. So I don't know that I have a separate recommendation right now, AG. I would have told you Agile, but I'm not necessarily loving that one right now either. I'm going to say this, your CRM really should depend on where you are now in terms of your contacts. The main point of it is for you to keep up with people who you're doing business with, whether it be colleagues, partners, clients, leads, and prospects. So if you can find a system that actually fits into the rest of what you're doing, it talks to the other systems or platforms, and it can help you to keep track of those people in such a way that you're doing adequate follow-up. That's the most important thing. I haven't found a magic tool yet beyond, like I said, Go High Level, but I'm open to suggestions. So if anybody who's on here right now is listening and you see AG's question, pop in some ideas for us both, because I need to explore that a little bit more now that I've moved out of Go High Level into this simplified system. I do need to replace the CRM. Okay. Good evening, Sabrina Henley. Good to see you, ma'am. Okay, so I'm going to find one more on here that we can talk about. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about some that are not on AppSumo. Okay. Yeah, InCharge. I've already shared SkillPlate with you. InCharge is actually my go-to email service right now. And I will tell you, this is another one that I bought years ago. Actually, I think I bought it I believe it was 2019, which is crazy. So this is what I'm saying when I talk about the longevity and sustainability of some of these tools that used to be right? One lifetime deals. You can really be fortunate enough to snag one where the founder and the team is reliable and they're working hard to create sustainable income. And they're not just building through a lifetime deal, but they're also using recurring revenue systems. If you can find that, that's gold. Because again, Restream that we're using right now was lifetime. InCharge 2019 lifetime deal. I only paid for it once and I still continue to use it, and it's amazing. So for me, what I love about this particular tool is that a lot of the stuff, so going back to Go High Level and other systems like it builds out entire workflows. It does integrate with a bunch of different tools. I know Radiance, I said the S word sessions. Dang. Don't be sad. I know. Um, but it does allow you easy automation of your email marketing services. So let me pop this up real quick here and then we'll get ready. Oh, I need to talk about Go Brunch because somebody asked about that. Um, I love it because of the campaigns that I can build out in it. Um, it's not ConvertKit, which is now called Kit. No, it doesn't have, it's not the same feel, not the same community, etc. Right? But it does what it's supposed to do. My deliverability rate is where it's supposed to be. I can do tracking and analysis, although limited. I don't necessarily love their embedded forms, but I can work around them, right? So for the low price of a one-time lifetime deal, it does what I need it to do. I think I have maybe a tier 3. What's the equivalent of a tier 3 now? Because again, I bought mine in 2019, but it has all of this. Mine even has Thrivecart integration, which they no longer give you at these lower tiers, but mine has that too. So for me, it has been very easy to use and I don't have to worry about yet another subscription. It falls within any system or tools that I'm using. It talks to those. Yeah. So I've had good luck with these. I even have the capability of doing a lot of customized email templates and that type of thing. You do want to be careful, by the way. I know a lot of people love the beautiful emails, but the wisdom of the email gurus has always been be careful that you don't add too many graphics and too much stuff going on in your email because it can keep it from being delivered. So I try to keep mine pretty text friendly and not too many graphics. I might have one or two graphics in there, like the graphic that leads you to my video, and then a little tiny graphic of my profile picture. But other than that, I'm not trying to make it be a magazine because I want it to be deliverable. So I think that again, InCharge gives you that capability. It keeps it simple. It's not over the top. It might be worth it for you to take a look at this one. And it does have a price increase in the next 36 hours. So you'll want to pay attention to that. Do look at the reviews and get a feel for what you think. I know some people have talked about the customer service, but I literally, again, since 2019 have had them, and I have never had an issue with them not responding. Sometimes I think that people are, because we are in this microwave society, right, where we feel like we need immediate responses right now. And I love immediate responses. I'm not going to lie. Like, I need you to respond and to show me that you care about the fact that I reached out to you because I have a problem, right, with your platform. But I'm also reasonable and I understand that sometimes people are getting slammed, especially when they have an AppSumo deal. They're getting slammed with a bunch of questions and issues, and they may be a small team right now. They're a startup that's trying to get, a cash influx so that they can grow and they can change and they can add to their features. I get it. So I try to give these apps usually about 48 hours to respond, and I've never been disappointed on that. Not with them. InCharge usually answers within, I'd say 24 to 36 hours at the most. And I always get resolution to my issue if I have an issue, and it's rare. So let's see. I heard you mention Go High Level. Did you not like it? No, I love Go High Level, Sabrina. I do. And I think that a lot of people If you are investing in Go High Level, here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to invest in knowing how to use it fully from start to finish. So you need to be in a community and in a space where you're learning and you're applying what you learn, and you're not just haphazardly putting pieces together and only using some of it and not all of it. You should go all in if you're going to use it. It's very powerful. There are people who are excellent mentors in the space. One of them I know for sure is Tiana Smith, my twin from another mother, right? Tiana Smith is an excellent trainer and tutor when it comes to Go High Level. Mike Wayne, a lot of you know him from Facebook. And then now Jonathan Mast has been putting out Go High Level tutorials, and I believe he has a recent partnership with them. So I trust any of them to help you to use it fully. And if you're going to buy it, I'm just saying use it. I didn't necessarily find myself using it fully because I had systems that were already set up in other places. Like I had my whole Thrive cart central, and then I had Traft as my center for my booking calendars. And then I had all these different spaces that I've used for so long that I just did not want to move everything into Go High Level. And so I found that I wasn't using it sufficiently. Yes, you need to make if you're going to use it to the fullest because there's a lot of potential there, but it also can be time consuming. I get it. That was the other thing. My thought was success loves speed. I hear this over and over again, and I'm saying it a lot lately. And what we have to do as entrepreneurs is, especially right now, is we cannot afford to be complacent and to be stuck in one place because we're waiting and trying to decide if we're going to take the time to learn an app. I don't have that kind of time. My time is going to be better suited actually selling and serving, not trying to stand up something new. And so I wanted to simplify all my behind the scenes systems so that I can just go. Like if I have an idea, I want to make it run right now. I want to go out and sell right now, get new clients in, serve them, and keep it moving. So I didn't want to have to keep messing with complicated systems. That was my reason, but that's not going to be everybody's reason. So I hope that helps. Okay, let me see. I was thinking the same thing. I think people are wanting an immediate reply. And when you have a tiny team, quick responses aren't always reasonable. Yeah. And that's the thing. So we do have to sometimes we have to give people grace, right? I will tell y'all this. Can I tell y'all a really quick story? I'm not going to say the name of the platform, but I get it. If you can't respond in a timely fashion, and I give grace. But one thing that I do not tolerate as a customer, because I wouldn't want my clients to tolerate this from me, is if I ask a question. So I sent an email to a particular platform founder and team, and the initial response I got back was, as it says in the such and such guide. And when it started with that, I instantly had attitude because I'm like, they obviously don't know me. Like they don't know that I read and that I do this stuff for a living. They don't know how many apps I've actually played in. So they're just making an assumption that I'm stupid or that I just am ignorant and didn't go and pay attention to their guide. So it pissed me off the first time, but I didn't say anything. I just went back and I said, let me create a screen share video for you sharing what my problem is so that you can help me with the solution. Now I'm trying to be PC. I'm trying to keep the professional Tanya going, right? Do you know that the second response was worse than the first? It said, as I previously said, that's when my head spun. And that's when I decided to call them out and let them know, first of all, I sense annoyance. So I left them a nice little voicemail and an email. I sense annoyance in your responses to me as a new customer who just purchased your app today that had some serious questions, and I've taken the time to review all of the information, your knowledge base. I'm sending you these questions because I'm new. It's not cool how you've responded. And basically, if this is how it's going to be, deuces, right? I could be an advocate for you, but instead you've just turned me the other direction, right? So, luckily for them, they did share an apology, which I accept. But sometimes you got to put boundaries around this stuff, and you do need to know who you're dealing with, because if it's the first day and you just made that purchase of that app and you're getting that type of response, imagine when you have something really complicated and you're looking for help and that's how they're responding to you. Mm-mm, not good. So yeah, I pay attention to things like that because it matters. He said, "Wow, what is the app?" I'm not going to tell you because they apologized immediately. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm not going to share because they apologized. If they had not apologized, trust I would have told you. And I would also be refunding that sucker, but I do want to try to check it out and see if it's going to be useful. So we'll see. But yeah, you never know. And this is also a word to the wise for us as entrepreneurs. You have to think about, because what they kind of came back and said was, well, we're just getting slammed because we're getting a lot of questions. I get that. But every customer wants to feel like you care. So I don't care if you got 1,000 customers. I should still be treated like somebody who came to you for help with your platform. You should still treat me with courtesy and respect. And I think I said something to that effect in there too. Like, I came to you asking you questions with courtesy and respect, which I expected you to respond to me with that same thing. And I didn't get that because you were rude, right? So I think that we need to be careful how we're responding to people too. As a coach and as a person who now is also offering digital services herself, I want to make sure I keep those things in mind. So anyway, yeah, it was crazy, y'all. Okay, let's go. I think that's it for this space. Actually, I promised somebody I would talk about Go Brunch for a quick minute. Go Brunch has been on here for a long time. So even though it says Black Friday deal, Richard has been out here for a long time. I think that I don't know when or if they'll move into a different system. I would say that it is worth the lifetime deal. Yes. Go Brunch gives you the ability to create amazing virtual spaces, meeting rooms, right? And now you can even create what they consider to be communities. And I like that as a concept. I just think that there are a couple of, and if you want to know more, you can definitely go that I have on this, but I'm going to show you really fast, like what I've been able to create for my Stream Bosses Academy, which I do love when we get to hang out in these spaces. It gives you a different feel. It's not just like a regular old Zoom or another Google Meet. It feels like you're in a space that is beautiful and that is branded to your experience. Whatever you're trying to create for people, you can really create an experience. I'm trying to make sure I sign in because I haven't been in here for a hot minute. But if you're a Stream Boss and you're watching this, we're going to have another session in there very soon after the holiday. So I'm going to pull up Stream Bosses Academy. And what I did is I created spaces. It's checking the system now. I created spaces that were branded according to different seasons. I have living rooms. I have summer spaces. I have a beach. I've got all kinds of stuff. So let me show you really fast what this could look like, for instance, okay, to give you an idea. So this is one of my rooms here. And so when you tap in, people have the opportunity to be able to hang out in your living room space. So Go Brunch, yeah, I knew. I see some stars in there. Yeah. Go Brunch is pretty amazing because you can set it up to where, again, you're making this branded experience and it's perfect for whatever the conversation's going to be about. If you're talking about sensitive topics, you can kind of create one that looks like a couch, right? If you're wanting to create that beach space, I've got those. I've got a jazz room, an urban lounge. You can add music. You can have little widgets and things that are included in there. So I do love Go Brunch for helping me to be able to create these different experiences. And at the same time, you also have to be mindful that the record feature doesn't always work. You definitely don't need to register people through their system. You want to register them through another system and then lead them to the specific link where you want them to be. So once you get in here, you may have to integrate it with a few other tools. And what I typically do is I will use like Loom as my recording tool instead of the in-house or the native feature, because some of the stuff just doesn't work necessarily, but there's a lot that does work. So yes, do I think it's worth the benefit of paying this lifetime fee? Yes, I do. I actually have the highest tier. I have the tier 3 because it was worth it to me. And because I still continue to use it to this day, and I'm a big fan of Richard, I would say yes and yes. Would I like for them to add some new features? Probably. But see, even one of the recent, remember I told you to go to some of the recent reviews, somebody was having an issue with the resolution. Yeah, so you don't want to use it for the purposes of if you've got like low resolution internet, or not internet, but low resolution video, or if you have slow internet, that could be an issue. But otherwise, you can check it out and see if it might be right for you. And if so, invest in it. It's one time, it's a lifetime deal. Okay. I'm going to share a couple of other ones. Thank you, Ratilia. I do. Look, it's important to me to treat people the way that I would want to be treated. So I'm not telling you all that story that I said just because I'm trying to be mean. I'm saying it was a wake up call to me that I never want anybody to experience that from me. I never want to answer with, didn't I already tell you? Or as I said in the such and such guide. No, you asked a question because you needed to know the answer. And so I want to be as courteous as possible and compassionate as possible. And yes, there are boundaries even for you as the service provider. You get to set boundaries in place when people are acting a fool and cutting up, whether they're a client or not. And there have been instances where I've had to fire clients, right? It's very rare. But at the same time, I think there should be boundaries set on both sides. And I think that we all need to remember to treat each other with kindness and respect. There should be mutual respect. So the boundaries are there on both ends. Yes, very unique use cases for Go Brunch, and you just want to be sure, be careful that you know that there's certain aspects of it that won't work in-house. And I don't know if he's removed some of those features that used to be on the website, but I wouldn't use the recording feature. I wouldn't rely on that. But a lot of the rest of it, yes, I love. And I do love that you can also use it on mobile. They've done some improvements so that you can use it on mobile. The best way to do that is if you have people that are joining from a mobile device, turn it sideways, have them turn it sideways like this, and they'll have a better experience. So just a hot tip on Go Brunch. Okay, let's see. What I think I wanted to show you, Easy Site, I just did a full-blown 40-minute long video on Easy Site, but I'll pull it up because I think that it's one that you may not want to miss. I wish you can go back in my YouTube channel from this morning. The Black Friday deal is still on for 20 days. So you got a little bit of time to choose this one. If you're going to check it out, again, go check out my full YouTube video because I'm walking through exactly how I've built out micro apps for my own business. I'll show you two of them right now. One of them is, let's see, scribe.streamlikeaboss.tv, which I'm loving because Now I get to, since I teach people in workshops how to leverage repurposing for their live stream videos and their podcast, what better way to help fill a gap than to give my clients access to a tool that will transcribe their video or their audio? Huh? What? Yes. So I have this tool now as part of my arsenal, as part of my software suite. Additionally, I built out another app. And by the way, when you go in here, I got to think about, okay, I may not sign in yet. I may not sign in right now, but Easy Site is how I built this one. The other one that I built is called AI Video Studio. That's my favorite. That's my flagship. So the Video Studio, which we're going to be teaching about in a class coming up on December 8th. This allows you to actually use Sora 2 and VO, okay, Google VO and Sora to create video clips, AI video clips. And so I love that I get to offer this as a service as part of my offer suite because I built out this micro app using Easy Site. And it is super easy and fun to do. And they do have a Black Friday sale. I do not have an affiliate link for this. So just go hang out on my YouTube channel, watch the 40-minute video. You can scroll through and check out the chapters if you want to skip to certain parts, but it's an excellent tool. And it's fully housed, meaning that it has everything that you would need. Because with some of these other tools, when you're building out vibe-coded platforms and apps, you have to then learn a bunch of other things. Even if you don't have to know coding, you still have to know about the integrations that are required in order to keep your information secure or to connect it to a shopping cart or to have email service connected to it. With these, with Easy Site, all of the apps are like a business in a box. So I'll just let you take the time to go through that video if you're interested at all. But it's been amazing and I love it as a part of my system that I've been creating. Okay, the other one, let me see if there are other Black Friday deals. I'm just going to check in with you. If you have a need for a specific type of tool, let me know and I'll do a little research and see what we can find. I don't know necessarily. I think I saw XMind. XMind is one of my favorites, and they have a Black Friday day tool. Let's see. I think they have a sale. I'm trying to think of who else might have a sale that I love. XMind.com. Yes. Okay, I'm going to pull this up really fast. So XMind, how I use this, I use XMind for the purposes of mapping out systems. And anytime I'm in a call with any of my clients, we use XMind for note taking. I use it for a lot of things, y'all. Like it's been a go-to of mine for many, many years. One of the things that I first started using it for, I'm going to pull up my actual app. I first started using this whenever I would go to a meeting. So if I would go to a summit or I'd go to an in-person conference, I would use this thing, and I'm trying to see if I can open one that I have recently, to take notes. And when I talk about notes, it's not just any notes. These notes have a full, come on, let's open the files there, people. A full library of images. So you know how when you're in these summits and you end up taking screenshots of the slides and you want to take a little bit of the audio or whatever it is that you're wanting to take away from that particular call, I was able to use XMind for that purpose. And so I'm trying to see if I can open up one that might be useful to you right now. Yeah, a lot of these are my clients, so I don't want to pull up their personal information. I'm not going to pull that up in here. Custom GPT build out. Let's see if we can show you that one. So I built out, here's an SOP. Okay, this will give you an idea of how I use this. This is just one idea though. And now because they have integrated AI into XMind, one of the things that's really cool about it, and let me get rid of this skill plate QR code because we're not even talking about skill plate right now. One of the things that I love about this tool is that you're able to create tasks and you can put deadlines or dates to them. And so I created an entire SOP for how I'm building out custom GPTs for my clients. And I use this to help me fill in certain gaps. And I can just create a duplicate of this template every single time I'm building out my next one, because each of these steps I can go through and check them off as I'm going through or as I'm done. And that way, I don't miss a thing. Like I have all the steps and I literally can create. Now they have Gantt charts that you can create. I haven't put a Gantt chart together for this one, but Gantt charts are in here. So if you're like a project management junkie like I am, then you can use it for that purpose too. It additionally, if you're working with a client and you've built out your notes, which is what I'm typically doing when I'm on the phone with the client, we're going through and we're building out a complete mind map system. This version gives just an outline because some of your clients are going to be like, I like the visual, but it's just a lot. Some will want the outline version, but it gives you different versions. And you can even use this for presentations, y'all. So you literally can turn this into just a presentation or a pitch. So if I wanted to, for instance, and that just did something funky to my system there. Yeah, you couldn't see it on your end, but I could. Anyway, it could build slides, like it can create slides for you too. So you can do a whole pitch using your XMind. So I just wanted to share that because they do have a Black Friday sale that I'm considering. The Black Friday sale that they have right now, if you go to xmind.com, at the top, you should see this banner and you just click on claim offer. And what they're doing here is they're giving you, I think it's a year and a half. Yep, a year and a half. So you're getting 6 months for free at the price of a normal year. So it's about $92 or something like that. And I think it's worth it if you are a thinker like that. If you like mind maps, if you like tools like I do that help you to just put things in a visual hierarchy, then this is pretty cool. Okay, great question. So, a question is, how does it compare to Tascade? Well, they're two different things. Tascade is not, its purpose isn't really intended to be just a mind map. As you know, Tascade has a lot more functionality. And I don't think they have a Black Friday deal, but let's look and see. I don't know. I've had Tascade forever too. It was another lifetime deal that I'm really happy that I bought because now they are using a ton of AI to build out different apps. And you can build micro apps using this, right? In addition to project management. So there's a lot that you can do with this particular one. I'm not seeing a sale. So we may not focus too much on this one right now. Yeah, I don't see a sale. Tascade is primarily for project management, but it also creates little micro apps for you as well. So, websites, dashboards, tools. I think I might have a tool in here that I created. Let me see if I can get in there real quick and show you. But I don't want to spotlight this one too much because, again, it's not, from what I can see, it's not on sale. But here's what this can do. So, it can literally create landing pages for you that are SaaS based. So little micro app landing pages, just taking a minute to pop up. Check that out. It can create project portals. I was building out a whole tool to help me keep track of my GPTs. And I was using Tascade for it. I think the reason why I stopped is because I kept getting error messages. That's the only thing. It looked beautiful, but the functionality was not working for me. And I had sent a couple of support notifications. They never responded, but they just fixed it. I could tell they fixed it because I went in there. But then by the time I went back in there, I just got a little irritated because I'm like, how would I have known had I not gone in here? Anyway, we'll get off of that one. So that's Tascade. It's not on sale from what I even count that amongst our Black Friday sales. But I did want to show you XMind because I use this all the time, pretty much daily. I use it with every client. I use it for every summit, every conference I go to. And if you Like if I'm using my iPad while I'm at the conference, then I'll insert images and pictures of the slides for each of the message points as I'm mapping it out. It just makes me move faster in order to be able to map out ideas as I go. People are always asking me, oh my God, what is that you're using? Whenever I'm at a conference, they're like, wow, what is that? It's XMind. So now you know my secret tool. Okay, I don't see requests. So I think we may be getting ready to wrap here in a little bit. Is there anything that I need to answer for you? Oh, and you said project management tool. So yeah, XMind is more of a project management tool, but you can use it for a whole lot of things. Anything that you can structure into an outline or put into a mind map, you can pretty much do in XMind. And yes, Stacy is using NotebookLM, which I'm about to do a NotebookLM video, y'all. Give me a week because I keep getting asked. And look, Google is going to eat everybody else's lunch when it comes to AI because they're already positioned with everything that they do. They're already positioned to be able to take over. Think about it. Google Workspace, they're in your calendar, they're in your email, they're in your everything. So some people have a problem with that from a privacy standpoint. And if that's you, then you may not care and you may not want to go further with it. But I'm loving the fact that it's integrated so much into all of the things that I'm already using on my phone, on my laptop, on my main computer. Like it's integrated, and the system of using Google and Gemini specifically has just been ridiculous. Y'all, if you think about Gemini right now, look, Nano Banana Pro. For those of you who are coming to my AI brand image lab, if you're coming to that, by the way, if you're like, what are all these labs and workshops she's talking about? Go to my website. Okay. If you go to Stream Like a Boss TV, or if you go directly to learn.streamlikeaboss.tv, you will click on products and you will see I have a Black Friday sale. Why didn't I talk about my own Black Friday sale? I have a Black Friday sale right now on the 2 upcoming workshops. These are labs because they're not only workshops where you're doing stuff, but we're doing things together. It's a co-working and training event. It's 2 hours each. So the AI brand images lab right here, and then the AI short video lab are going to be so much fun. And we're going to be adding Nano Banana because I need to talk about Nano Banana. Before we talked about a couple of other tools. Now with this version of our AI brand lab, it's coming up December 1st, y'all, real quick. It's going to be well worth it for you to come and join us. So the reason why I think I better say something about this is because I do have a Black Friday sale that just opened today. I'm so goofy. I should have said this first. And the sale is that you can buy one, get one half off. So if you buy the bundle, then you can get both classes, right, at 1.5 the price. So check it out. Just go into learn.streamlikeaboss.tv, y'all, and you will find the sale. I know. What about yours? She's like, where's your sale? So we're going to talk about 3 different image generating tools in the class. And I will walk you through a process for using my favorite one for creating brand images that look like you. But I also keep getting questions about how I'm creating the images that I've been using across my different sites. So I will walk you through the process that I'm using for those and give you some like a prompt recipe book that you can use for your images. I'm so excited about that. So that's coming up. The Black Friday deal is available today through the 30th. The first is when we hold the first class. So if you get out here, you can actually click on Get Now for the Black Friday bundle and you'll get access to both classes. Okay. If you're a stream boss or if you've taken the AI brand images lab before, you automatically have free access. And if you haven't seen the invite, reach out to me via DM so you can make sure you get in. Okay. Because we do have limited, I'm keeping it small because I want to do I want the co-working aspect of it, and I love intimate spaces to be able to answer personal questions and that type of thing. So that's going to be fun. I know, right? Valerie, I know you've been on me like, when is it coming again? And I had to move the date once. So, okay. Yes, Google does have it going on. So we're spending more time using Gemini, using NotebookLM for real, for real. NotebookLM, y'all, it's out of this world. Several of you reached out to me after you saw my Facebook post the other day where I talked about 10 different ways to use the video overview feature. That thing is magical. And I am not joking. So get in on it. But we need to probably do a whole workshop. We need to do a co-working thing just on NotebookLM. But first, I'll do a video and I'll share some of the things I found out and how I'm using it. And we'll grow together on that one because I see them coming out with more and more stuff. And they're trying to take over. I'm here for most of it. I'm not here for the privacy issues, but I think that's going to be fun. Okay. It is. Chris, hey, Notebook is a beast. NotebookLM is a beast. I don't know anything like it. I really don't. And I think that being able to feed information into it and then go talk to it, to chat back and forth with it about the stuff you fed it and what you trained it to do, and using it as a learning tool. Like you can feed whole PDFs and ebooks in there and then say, hey, teach me about Aristotle. Like I just shared all these different things with you about this person, and I've had you do deep research, which is amazing. Let me tell y'all, I mentioned this the other day on my Facebook post. I went in to NotebookLM and I did a deep research request. It was the first time I'd used deep research because it had just come out. And I said, I just want you to do research and analyze my brand. Y'all, when I tell you that thing came back with so much information, like it went around the world and back, and it had all of this detailed data about me and about my business. And it was so on point. And I was like, well, dang, I need you to take that information and rewrite my bio, rewrite my radio bio for the next time I'm on a podcast. Hey, let me use you to help me fill out the applications when I'm applying to be a speaker at different virtual summits, when I'm applying to be in different programs as a leader. Yeah, y'all, it was crazy. It's nuts. So definitely use that. Let me see this question. How do we know if we have access to NotebookLM? I have Google Workspace. Oh my goodness. Okay. So all you need to do, let me see if I'm just going to go in here right now. Okay. So this is what I want you to type in, Ratilia. Okay. I'm going to pop it up on screen again. All right. You're going to type in notebooklm.google. Okay, that's what you're going to do. And let me see if I need to pop this up on screen real fast. I'm just going to type it in here. Okay, you're going to go to notebooklm.google. So I just I put it in there for you. Okay. And where it says try NotebookLM, first of all, you want to be sure that you're logged into your Google Workspace. And you should have it if you have, especially if you have a paid Google Workspace account, it's already in there. So when you click on try NotebookLM, it should pull up your notebooks. And you may not have any. If you haven't been in there yet, it's just going to say create new notebook, right? So I'm going to say crafting. Let me see where I found optimizing client intake, coaching calls. Oh, this was another thing I did that was crazy, y'all. I plugged in transcripts from my coaching calls, not because I'm trying to share my coaching client stuff, but because I wanted to pull out of this library case studies that I could use for my website, for my marketing materials, etc. Now, if there's anything specific that could like lead to a person's name or a company, then I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I built this case study based on our work together. Would you be comfortable with me using that? I'm going to get express permission if there's anything that could be identifiable data. But the fact that it was able to take my coaching calls, this was earlier this year, right? The ones that I thought were really relevant to the work that I want to do moving forward, I pulled them in here, the transcripts, and boom, it gave me a wealth of knowledge. There's any number of things you can do with this. Anytime you're taking a class, anytime you're trying to study or learn how to do something, you just feed it into a notebook and ask it to teach you. So I want to be careful. Let me see. I can probably open this one because there's no client information in it. But this is where I was talking about the deep research thing. And again, we're going to do a full video on this. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here on it. But audio overview, video overview, mind maps, report. There's all kinds of things you can create using the source documents that you've uploaded and chatting back and forth with this tool. It's like one of my favorite things to do right now is to explore all the ways to be able to use this. So that's why we need to do a video on it. We need to have fun with that. Okay. Let me get ready to close us out. Yes, you do have it. Yes. Girl, yes. You have something in there for 2024. See? Okay. So we're not using ChatGPT anymore. Girl, okay, look. I'm laughing too because I love Chatty, and Chatty is still my first love, but just mostly like your real first love. Well, for some of us, it was good then. But, I'm moving into a whole new season of life now. And so I use Chat GPT mostly now for custom GPT building because I do still love it for that purpose, right? I do love the custom GPTs that I've created and that I use, right? But if I'm just using it for research purposes or, there's other things I'm asking it to do, it's just not always reliable. Again, sort of like your first love, like just not always reliable and consistently there. So sometimes it gives me crappy answers and I get irritated. Or sometimes it doesn't give me an answer at all. And I'm like, I'm still waiting. So yeah, I don't know. ChatGPT, they need to up their game if they want to stay in motion. And the one thing I will tell you, besides custom GPTs that I do still love, Sora. Sora 2, my favorite. Right now, that's my favorite fun playground when it comes to video clips. I'm having the most fun. That's the reason why I decided to create the AI Video Lab class, because I was having so much fun with it that people were like, oh my God, what does she create now? And it has been just awesome for marketing purposes in fact, I think after we get done here, I need to post, because I try to post at least one a day, but I'm going to post a video clip that I made in Sora. And it's a part of your ChatGPT subscription anyway. So if you're paying the $20 a month, which I am since I have the custom GPTs, absolutely worth a try, absolutely worth a look and to play around with. And I think now you don't necessarily need an invite code to access it. I could be wrong, but I will, yeah. So Valerie, yeah, I've been so mad at it lately. Thought it was just me and Chatty B. I know. I've been getting so irritated. Like, what is going on? And why are you giving me these crazy answers that have nothing to do with what I asked you? Gemini is definitely reliable, consistent. Claude is excellent for copy. Each of them has their own superpowers. I think that Manus is also another favorite of mine right now, definitely. And I'm not even I'm using the free version of Manus, but it allows you to build out micro apps and vibe-coded websites. That's one of the things I'm studying. I'm learning now from Jonathan Mast about how to do that. But I still love Easy Site more from what I've seen so far. But Manus will allow you to do that too. So there are other tools that just have kind of outlived or outperformed ChatGPT right now, in my mind. But you have to see for yourself. So we just need to have a co-working. In fact, that's what I need to do. I need to like host a playground. Like we're just going to play. We'll just go in there and we'll all be kind of playing around and we'll share what we're discovering and what we're finding. I got to put something together to do that. That would be fun for the new year, like before the new year. We could have like a sleepover, but not really. A virtual sleepover party. Okay, I'm getting that together. All righty. Hey, you're welcome. Finally accepting the fact that these photo twins are here to stay. Honey, look, Sabrina, you are an amazing photographer. Amazing. When I say the type of experiences that you give people as a brand photographer, because I know you and I know your product, what I'm going to say to you is leverage that to your benefit, because here's what other people don't have that you have is you have experience and knowledge. Like you have lived experience in the space of brand photography. So being able to marry that brand photography experience with AI brand images, remember, it's all about creating your differentiator. It's all about none of us are the same, right? The platforms and the tools that we use may be the same, but the product, that output that we put out into the world is always going to be uniquely different because you're seeing it with your own eyes and with what you know. So leverage that, take them both, and that becomes the business model. What's going to happen, the people who are sitting back and saying, oh my God, my job is going away, and or my occupation as a photographer, it's over now. You can't sit there and say that. What you can do, instead of doing that and lamenting the old days, is you figure out how to bring that knowledge and experience and that maturity in that position and merge it with the new and create something that is uniquely excelling above all the other people who just got into this, just now figuring out how to use AI to create some brand stuff, right? I had to get that in my own head. I was like, wait a minute, okay. So I've been a coach for 20 something years. I've done the career stuff. I've done social media marketing. I've got the HR background. I've got all these different things in my background. How do I leverage that in the new things? How do I continue to learn and create something that's uniquely different and mine? And that is what you're seeing now. You're seeing the manifestation of that. For those of you who have seen my platform grow, seen me finally, after all this time, become a YouTube, right, approved creator, like all of those things are coming because I finally got it. I'm like, okay, I can't stay stuck. I have to pull what I know in with the things I'm learning and create my own little universe here and do things the way that I love to do them, but also be open minded that there's been a shift. The more you can do that, the better the position you're going to be in. Okay, enough of my soapbox. Never heard of, so it's Manus.ai. It's MAN. Here, let me find it for you. It's MANUS, and then yeah, .ai or .im is what it looks like when I'm in the app. But I'm going to show you real fast, AG, so that you know what it is. Definitely go take a look at this because, dude, it can do a lot for free. A lot. I literally just wrote a post using it. It can connect to different apps, to your Google Drive and all of that stuff. It can build websites too, which we just talked about, create slides. It can do research. There's a lot that this thing can do. And it gives very specific answers that are high quality answers, not just fluff, which sometimes we get from our friend Chatty. So I do love it for that. Okay, y'all, I have overspent my time, but I hope it was fun. I told you this wasn't going to be structured. I just wanted to come out here and kind of hang out with you and talk about apps. And we talked about a bunch of things more than apps, but it is always a pleasure. And I hope that you enjoyed it and you had a little fun. And if you did take away any nuggets at all from this conversation, I want you to make sure you like the video, share it with a friend. if there's somebody who you think could benefit from it. It's always more fun to be here live in the room, right? But the replays are fun too. And I've gotten better about putting chapters in the replay so you can go back and find what you need. So I will do that. Okay. Yes. You're very welcome, Sabrina. Because I know it's going to come. The light bulb moment is coming for you. You will find out how to merge what you know. You have such experience and such an eye for the camera, man. I mean, the stuff that you put out there is amazing. So I hope that if you need some help, you know to reach out. You know this. Okay. Queenpreneur Rachel in the house. What's up? All right. Thank you, y'all. You're welcome, Chris. Have an amazing, actually, let me say this in case, because I got stuff I need to do this week in preparation for Thanksgiving here in the US. We do celebrate. I want to wish you all a very blessed and hopefully, because I know it can be a hard time for some too, a blessed and relevant. I don't know if that's the word. I wish for you whatever it is you want for yourself. How about that? The best of whatever that is. That's my wish and my prayer for you. So stay safe and sound. And I will see you next time in the stream. We will not stream on Thursday because that is Thanksgiving. I will be nice, full, and happy and watching some type of Christmas show on TV. I don't know which one yet, but I wish everything joyful for you. And we'll see you next week if we don't see you this weekend. Okay? Take care. Oh, yes, I do have a Black Friday special. Thank you for reminding me. So go check it out before November 30th because you can get both classes for the price of one and one half off. Okay? That's at streamlikeaboss.tv, not .com, .tv. If you go to products, you'll be able to see all of our programs and you can check it out there. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.